Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Destiny. In today's video, we're doing another Testimony Sunday, and we're going to be doing things a little bit different this time. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to title these testimonies, and I want to title these testimonies because I do plan on turning my testimonies into a book. So you are all going to go on this journey with me, and you'll see me, writing down my notes. And, I want this to be engaging because I do want to create a Bible plan with this lesson, with this testimony. So go ahead and drop your comments below because I do love feedback and, any suggestions or tips that we can all do to make this channel better for you to watch and just be more engaging. Please let me know. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. So I do have my notes. I have my little notebook. I picked this up from Ross, and then I also have a new Bible, and I picked this up from Amazon. And I already had my notebook. I'm a notebook type of girl. I love notebooks. I love planners. So I picked this up. I picked the Bible verse. Well, not the Bible verse. I picked the Bible from Amazon, and I picked this Bible because it's pink. I love pink, rose gold, So I picked this one up. It is not King James. It is the New International Version. I believe that's what it's called. And I picked this one up because the King James Version is just very difficult for me to read, and I'm the type of person, if it's going to be difficult, then I'm not going to read it. If the words are kind of changed, then, and I don't have to do my research after I read the Bible, then this is why basically I chose this one. And it's your preference. I'm going to continue using the NIV, New International Verses, in the screen. But if you want to refer to your Bible, just put it on pause and read the King James Version, whatever floats your boat. All right. So I had already written up, what I wanted to discuss. And I was watching a video yesterday, which leads up to this, the Bible verse, but I want to go ahead and read the Bible verse first, and then we'll jump back to the video that I saw. So we're in Luke 15, chapter 1 through 7. Now the tax collectors and sinners were all gathering around to hear Jesus. But the Pharisees and the teachers of the law muttered, "This man welcomes sinners and eats with them." Then Jesus told them this parable. "Suppose one of you has 100 sheep and loses one of them. Doesn't he leave the 99 in the open country and go after the lost sheep until he finds it? And when he finds it, he joyfully puts it on his shoulders and goes home. Then he calls his friends and neighbors together and says, 'Rejoice with me, I have found my lost sheep.' I tell you, in the same way, there will be more rejoicing in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous persons who do not need to repent." Okay. So what does this verse mean to you? The reason that I chose this verse today is because I felt like I was a lost sheep. So I know I touched on it in a couple of videos ago, but I was raised in church. I went to church, all my childhood. And then as an adult, I would go to church consecutively for a few weeks, and then I would stop, and then I would go, and then I would stop. And then ultimately, a couple of years ago, I just stopped. I would still, if I was invited to, church functions, whether my mom was doing a tea or anything, I would pop my head in, or if my niece was doing a play, I would pop my head in, but I was not going. And we're going to be transparent on this channel, and if I rub some people the wrong way, I'm sorry, but I'm speaking my truth. And basically, I never felt like I fit in at church. So, that's just what it is. I never felt like I pretty much felt in. I never felt like I fit in. I never felt like there was my place. And that, at my previous church that we used to go to in childhood, it was a bigger church. So I felt like it didn't feel real to me. I didn't have a connection there. I went to a smaller church, and it was good. So that one, there's nothing wrong with that one. I just think that it has to be right for you. Nobody can force you into you know, changing, and nobody can force you into this path, into your path. It has to be something that you want to do on your own. You cannot change, just like you cannot change yourself for a relationship, you cannot change yourself for other people. You can only make the change if you want to make that change. And I feel as though when you change for God, He will help you, because you know change is hard, and that's something that you have to keep doing. This is like a repetitious, you know, they say it takes 2 weeks to form a habit, 30 days, I don't know, but it takes time for you to change. Now, I'm saying that to say, and I want to touch back on the video. So on the video, it was a girl who was giving, you know, her critiques about another influencer that I watch here. And, you know, the video started out, it was a messy video, but she was like, well, I'm a Christian girl. And it put me back in a place that it made me feel low. Like, she was saying, what did she say? She was like, I'm a Christian girl, and you know, she was showing her skin, and she was listening to rap music. And I'm just like, okay, like, you can listen to rap music. I can if I like my body. Some people are confident, more confident than others in their body. Some people are conservative with clothes, some people aren't. You know, what does that have to do with God? You know, you cannot tell somebody their faith. You cannot tell somebody their walk with God. You cannot tell somebody their relationship with God. And it just put me back in a place where, you know, you always felt, well, I always felt less than. I always felt like, okay, you know, she only listens to gospel music. She only, you know, has church friends. She only does this. But I had to get to a place where you don't care what other people say about your walk with God. It's mine. You cannot take away something that I've worked hard for. I've worked hard for a relationship with God. You can't judge me. You know, as long as I have Him and I have a relationship with Him and I'm praying and I'm working on myself, then that's all there is to it. Like, you cannot judge other people and other people's walks with God. Now, I titled this one, Trust in the Lord. Now, I'm looking at my notes because this came to me, but I'm going to tell you a story about, well, I'm going to give you my testimony. Not even a story, it's my testimony. So my testimony it starts from me being in college. So in college, I interned at a local hospital here, and I interned there, and then, you know, after your internship, that's when you want to start applying. So I started applying to jobs, and I went on so many interviews. I went on like 5 for that job, and that is a lot of interviews, because, you know, people were going on 1, 2 and getting a job. Me, it was taking a little bit longer. So, you know, I got a little bit discouraged, but then I prayed about it, and they ended up creating a job for me. And that's a blessing, because they had never created an HR job before, and I was the first one. So I got the job, and, you know, everything was going well, and then things started going bad. And, you know, with jobs, there's, you know, different personalities, different politics, but that job was stressing me out. It was stressing me out to the point where, you know, I was losing my hair. I was getting depressed about it, and I just kept praying. And my mom was like, you know, go ahead and go to church. So I went to church, and I received prayer. I was going up when they called you to the altar, and I was going to church. And then I did end up getting a job. And that job, at first, you know, I was working on Sundays. I started working on Sundays, so I was like, oh, well, I can't go to church. But that's something that is my fault. I should have just, you know, I didn't prioritize God. I didn't make Him a priority. So, and that's something that, you know, I'm reflecting upon now. Hindsight is better than foresight. So I wasn't making Him my priority. I was making the job priority. I was like, okay, God bless me with this job. Now I gotta, you know, do my best at it. So I was doing my best at this job, and then the job was up. I wasn't putting Him first. I wasn't putting my relationship with him first. And I feel as though you have to trust God and not forget about him when he does give you blessings. Continue to pray. If he's giving you blessings, then that should make you pray harder. But that's something that took me time to learn. And Lord, oh wow, are the kids waking up? Hey, Parker. So if you can see Parker right here, she just woke up from a nap, and we're just gonna keep rolling. Okay, so I mentioned before, God blessed me with the new job, and then I didn't prioritize job. I'm sorry, God. It was the job and then God. So it was the job and then God, and then that slowly led to me not going to church at all. I was going, one Sunday out the month, then nothing at all. And that was going on 3 years ago. So, my mom and other people were like, oh, girl, you should go to church. But again, that's not something that you can force somebody to. I would always say, well, I'm not ready yet. Because when God comes to me, I don't want to fake it. I don't want to seem like I'm fake. But I'm not being fake. So that's something that it's just, you're programmed to think that if you're a Christian, you're only supposed to have that one path. You're only supposed to, you can't listen to secular music. You can't enjoy your drink. Like, why? Like, I'm gonna say this to say one sin is not greater than the other. You cannot judge. And that's something that I'm a strong believer in, is do not judge. And I'm not going to say that I don't, because I do, and that's something that we have to pray about. That's something that we have to continuously learn about. That's why you have to remind yourself, okay, these are all God's kids. No matter if they're acting like a heathen or not, they're still one of his kids. So, focus on your own path and mind your business, drink your water, mind your business, right? All right. So, trusting in the Lord has led me back to him, and I want to say that with leading back to him, it's not just about, having a relationship with God. It's not just about talking to God. God blesses you with gifts. And how do you get good at gifts? You get good at your gifts, whether it's sports or whether it's makeup or anything. What do? You practice. So that's the one thing that I had to learn about, was practicing the Lord, practicing understanding him. So studying the Lord comes in two ways to me. It comes in worshiping and it comes in practicing. Worshiping to me means listening to gospel music. Practicing comes in three ways, in my opinion. It's Bible study, it's going to church, and it's reading the Bible. So those three things are something that I'm going to start implementing. And as I find it to be more comfortable, I will share it with you how I study, because I am good at, I love planning and I love note taking. So I'm going to show you how I study as we get further down the line, and as I feel more comfortable within my new walk, I will definitely share that with you. So give me your thoughts below, because I know some of the things that I did touch on are going to be, they're going to rub some people the wrong way. And they're a little bit controversial, but this is me. This is my channel. I'm not meaning to come across any kind of way. There's nothing wrong with going to church. I have been going to church now online due to, COVID, but once it's done, I will be going physically to church. And I will be taking my kids physically to church, because that is something that I want to instill within them. I feel as though you do need to introduce God to your kids, because without knowing some kind of structure with church and with God and with the Bible, to me, in my opinion, you're sending your kids out into a world with no structure. And I want my kids to be well grounded. I want them to have morals. I want them to know what's wrong and what's right. So I will be enforcing, but not enforcing, I don't want to seem like a dictator, but I will be implementing, that's a better word, I will be implementing going to church with my kids, so they can know when, whatever journey they go on, because it's inevitable. We were born you know, in the flesh. So you're gonna get lost. And that's one thing that you have to not judge others, because some people are gonna get lost. You might not have gotten lost, but that's your journey. But for those of us who have gotten lost and are finding our ways back, this is why this video is here, okay? All right, so again, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. Thank you for watching my channel. I'm going to put, look, I don't know if you can see her, but she fell back asleep. So thank you for watching my channel. Happy growing. You gonna lay right there, Parker?